Everybody, it's Audrey. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. Hope you are staying well and healthy amongst this coronavirus pandemic. I have actually had a little bit more time to scrap, even though I've still been super busy with work at home. So I am enjoying getting into my scrap space more. So I am playing with a mix of the January and February Hit Kit Club kits, and I have some photos of my son here. And I really loved this geometric paper. I thought it was even though it was a lot of rainbow colors, I think geometric shapes work great for boys. And so he has a little caterpillar crawling on his fingers, and there are lots of little critters in some of the collections that come along with these kits. So that is why I chose to use these. So speaking of being at home quarantined, as I'm making this page, I am actually video chatting with a whole bunch of my scrappy friends. We were supposed to be at a scrapbooking crop on the weekend that I made this page, and of course everything has been canceled, so we could not go. So we got together virtually. So I'm chit-chatting away in the background as I am talking with my friends and making a layout at the same time. So this page, I think I'm going a little bit slower because I'm talking, and I don't typically do that when I'm working on a page at home and videotaping it. But anyway, I wanted to bring in a little bit of a floral pattern. So I picked this piece of paper. I love this Pinkfresh Studio paper. And I tore a strip off, and I'm not going to stick with that strip. I wasn't sure how to put it on there, and it just kind of looked awkward the way I had torn it. And I didn't really want to cover up too much of the geometric paper because I wanted all the colors to show through. So I'm going to play around and figure out some other things here. This green paper is so pretty. I absolutely love this color green. This probably is my favorite shade of green, and it just reminds me of spring so much. I absolutely love it. So I got rid of that torn strip of paper, and I thought, maybe you can ground my photos with a nice circle, because they were kind of just hanging off the edge of this rectangle right now. So maybe if I, put something behind the photos to kind of ground them together over the geometric pattern, that would help. So I like the way that looks, and I'm going to use this green paper to put a border around my photo, and that kind of helps them, just make them pop off that background a little bit more. But by the way, you can see I did cut out some of the tiny squares from the geometric print too. I kind of like how they were kind of scattering down off of that rectangle. So the rest of this, no, not the rest of it, but a big chunk of my time here I'm going to spend going through all the tons of embellishments that have come in these kits. I get most of the times I get the embellishment kit and the Project Life kit and the regular kit, so it's a ton of stuff. I never, ever have used an entire kit of stuff down to scraps. And I've been subscribing to Hip Kit Club for a very long time, so I have a ton of stuff still. I don't think I've ever used a kit all the way, but anyway, I'm going to go through some of these Pinkfresh Studio little phrase stickers, well, not stickers, but die cuts and ephemera. I like how the yellow is popping off with the green there. It's very springy. I love the Live in Wonder, kind of goes with the theme of my photo. And I put a yellow puffy frame over to the left, so I'm trying to do my visual triangle of colors, which I tend to do a lot on my pages. And here comes some of those little critters. I found a little butterfly that was perfect. And then a lot of these other things are from the Bloom Street collection. These butterflies actually, I think, come in the March kit. So I was kind of picking apart all three kits, the January, February, March, because they all have a little bit of Paige Evans, Bloom Street. They all have a little bit of Pinkfresh Studio. So I was kind of just mixing and matching. They all go so well together. Another little critter, a little ladybug. These are just so pretty. It's just, there's just so many things to use. And I really wanted to fussy cut out this paper. Papers like this to me just like scream to be fussy cut out. So I will pull some green leaves off here. This page doesn't end up anything like I thought it was going to when I started. I mean, I started with a geometric paper, and that was kind of the paper I wanted to work with, but I wasn't expecting to add in as many florals and leaves as I do, but I really love how it comes out in the end. And I love the green too. I think the reason the green works so well is because he has that orange shirt on, and it just adds some nice contrast with the colors in the photos. I'm just using a knife here to cut out the inside of these leaves. I don't like when the white shows through. I often have that problem with some die cuts too, when the die cuts have a white border on them. I guess it depends on what color background paper I'm using, but if sometimes when die cuts have a white border on them, I cut them off because it bothers me. But like here, because most of my background is white, it doesn't really bother me as much. So when I was printing photos, gosh, I can't, I'm really starting to lag behind in my years. These are photos from like 2018. I should be scrapping 2019 by now, but I'm still on 2018. I have so many photos of my son with some living creature in his hand. Frogs, caterpillars, butterflies, toads, even a snake. I mean, he's always got something. He loves to go out and catch things. So he's mommy's boy, though, because I used to do those kinds of things when I was a kid, too. So I added a few circular elements there. I loved the yellow die cut. I think it says Make Everyday Magic or something about magic moment or something. So I added a few other circular elements on each side of the photos, and I thought that helped balance out with a large circle in the middle. So you can see that I have that rectangle in the back, but then my middle section of design with the leaves and the circles are kind of going a horizontal spread. So I'm liking how that's working out. So I'm going to cheat here with my mixed media, and instead of taking everything off the page and doing a background, I'm just going to leave everything as it is. I haven't glued a thing down, and I'm just going to kind of go underneath it a little bit and have it stick out the edge. And I have a little caterpillar sticker there. I'm going to go right over that sticker. You can't even see it. And I didn't gesso or do anything, but I didn't want to take everything off and then go back and have to glue it back on. And it worked well. Because I wasn't going to do a ton of mixed media. And then this way, sometimes when you take everything off and then do your mixed media, like you get it all down on the page and then you put your stuff back on, and then, all the stuff you have covers up where you put your splotches of paint or whatever. So by doing it this way, you can kind of see exactly where you've got to put your paint. So it's a little bit cheating, I guess, but it worked. So I'm going to do a blue on the left because the tones on the geometric paper were more bluish, and then I'm going to go with the green on the right, and I thought I'd bring it together with a little bit of kind of a pinky coral color too, some splatters. Okay, label sticker there, and for my date, what am I going to do now? I don't know. Have I glued anything down? I don't think I have yet. I know at one time my camera stopped working. Sometimes when I'm because I record on my phone, I did glue things down. When I am videotaping on my phone and somebody calls me, even if I don't answer, it stops my recording. So sometimes that happens. Oh, I guess I didn't glue anything down yet. I thought I did. So I'm just going to go through, glue all this down with my liquid adhesive. It's a tiny bit crooked, so I gotta fix that. And I'm going to speed through this part a little bit because the layout is pretty much done. It's just me gluing, and I'm pretty sure if you scrapbook, you know how to glue, so you don't need to see me do all the little details here. So I'll fast forward a little bit. Okay, so this is going super fast now. I'm going to glue everything down with liquid adhesive except my my photos. I do put some adhesive foam on the back of them. And that has its own adhesive, obviously. And I put those down with the tape runner because I don't think the liquid glue, I don't know, I have a hard time getting the liquid glue to stick with that foam adhesive. So as I was putting these back on, I didn't feel like it was exactly like I had it at the beginning, which drives me crazy. Even though if I just moved it a little bit, I didn't feel like I had the same exact positioning, so it was a little bit off. I liked it. I mean, I know it's only like, you know, a fraction of a centimeter, but I guess it all works out in the end, but it still wasn't exactly how I had it at the beginning. I'm going to put some of those squares, those little geometric squares up at the top too, just to kind of continue that pattern. I was thinking about cutting the rectangle, cutting out some of the squares to make it kind of look like they were dripping, the squares were dripping. I don't know if that makes any sense, but from the solid block of the rectangle, just cutting out a couple of the squares inside of it to kind of make it less rectangular and kind of more with like loose ends in the bottom of the rectangle. So I popped a whole bunch of things off with pop dots and just gave it a little dimension. Put my label sticker back up there. I think I add another butterfly over on the left to kind of balance that out a little bit. Yeah. And then off camera, I go back. I do end up, I have the tag that says Live and Wonder there, but I do go back and add a title that says Fuzzy Friend and my journaling on the bottom. And here is the finished page. You can see the title and the journaling I added and the date, of course. And a couple close-ups. I love how this came out. I love the super bright colors and just all the different embellishments and little bits that there are in these kits this month. I'm going to have a lot of fun with these. They just scream spring too. So thank you so much for stopping by, and you can expect more videos in the next couple weeks. Thanks so much. Stay scrappy and stay healthy, friends.